King Charles III has already lived a pretty long life, and some can't help but wonder what will happen to the monarchy after he inevitably passes.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip!
When Queen Elizabeth II died, Prince Charles immediately ascended to the throne, although it will be a while before his actual coronation takes place. During the final part of Queen Elizabeth's funeral at St. George's Chapel on September 19th, there was a poignant moment when the crown jeweler removed the state crown, orb, and scepter from the Queen's coffin. They now belong to King Charles III, according to The National, but were quickly returned to the Tower of London to be put on display for all to see. In fact, the new monarch won't meet them again until the crown is placed on his head and the orb and scepter are put in his hands during the coronation ceremony. While there is no confirmed date yet, the Telegraph explains it will take months to organize. But more importantly, the new king is expected to wait an appropriate amount of time as a sign of respect for his late mother. According to the outlet, Charles is likely to choose spring or summer 2023, although it may prove to be longer. Queen Elizabeth, for one, waited 16 months to be crowned after her father's death. Given that Charles was 73 years old when he became king, and that he now needs to wait to receive his crown, his coronation is not guaranteed. When King Charles III dies, one thing is almost certain. He will receive a state funeral. As Business Insider explains, British royals, as well as their consorts, are automatically granted state funerals, unless they specifically choose to not have one. That was actually the case with Prince Philip.
Normally, this would have been a large national event here in the UK. Prince Philip himself did not want that.
Still, it's most likely Charles will opt for his to be a state funeral. If so, it will be planned by the Earl Marshal, who is in charge of putting together all state ceremonies, including coronations. While actual details are unknown, one can assume there will be many similarities between Queen Elizabeth II's funeral and her son's, as long-lasting traditions are sure to be carried on. For one, King Charles's coffin is likely to be transported using the state gun carriage of the Royal Navy, which carried his mother's coffin through the various royal processions, and was also used at the funeral of her father, King George VI. Also likely is that there will be a lying in state, allowing people to pay their final respects. However, Vanity Fair notes that a monarch can refuse this portion of proceedings, as was the case with Queen Victoria in 1901. According to the BBC, other keystone elements of a royal funeral include a military procession and a service at Westminster Abbey, both of which we are likely to see following Charles's death. Upon her husband's ascension to the throne, Camilla's title changed from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort Camilla. As Cosmopolitan points out, while the title contains the word queen, its function is hugely different from an actual queen's, because while a queen reigns, a queen consort is simply the spouse of a reigning king. That means she doesn't have any actual powers when it comes to ruling and decision-making. Even so, she is likely to get her own special moment in the spotlight come Coronation Day because, as the royal family website explains, a queen consort is crowned with the king in a similar but simpler ceremony. Given her limited influence, many have wondered what would happen to Camilla if King Charles III were to die before her. If that's the case, she will not remain on the throne, but rather, as a widow, her title will switch to Queen Dowager, per Cosmopolitan. Once Prince William, who is next in line to the throne after his father, is crowned, he may choose to honor his stepmother with the title of Queen Mother, which is usually reserved for a ruling monarch's widowed mother. Let's face it, for those of us out of the know, the royal line of succession can be a little confusing.
As a non-royal watcher, someone's going to have to explain that to me.
According to the royals' official website, the line of succession to the throne isn't simply determined by blood. Instead, it also requires a blessing from the government. As the site explains, following the 1701 Act of Settlement, the succession to the throne can be regulated by Parliament, and that a sovereign can be deprived of his or her title through misgovernment. Currently, that line begins with William, the Prince of Wales. Following King Charles III's death, if Prince William is alive and well and doesn't choose to abdicate, he will automatically become the United Kingdom's new monarch, just like his father automatically became king following Queen Elizabeth's death. As for his royal title, he is most likely to become King William V. Next in line after William are his 3 children. In order of age, thanks to the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013, which forbade a younger son from skipping over an older daughter, Prince George of Wales, Princess Charlotte of Wales, and Prince Louis of Wales. What some may find surprising is that if anything were to happen to William and his family, the line of succession would then swing to King Charles's second son, Prince Harry, and his children. The short answer to the common question is yes, it is extremely likely that Prince George will indeed be the United Kingdom's future king. Once Prince Charles III dies, the royal line of succession will put Prince William on the throne, followed by his eldest son. As Robert Hazel, a professor of government and the Constitution at the University College London, told Insider, there is nothing to prevent William becoming king, other than his own premature death. In that case, Prince George would become first in line after his grandfather. It's true that William could choose to abdicate, in which case the crown would pass straight from King Charles to Prince George. But that is definitely unlikely. Given the near certainty of his future reign, it's no wonder William and Kate are already getting their son used to royal life. As a 9-year-old George showed during Queen Elizabeth's funeral, he is already beginning to take a prominent role in the monarchy. According to Mirror, William and Kate reportedly decided to tell their eldest son about his future obligations before he heard of them from anyone else. Royal biographer Robert Lacey told the outlet, sometime around the boy's 7th birthday in the summer of 2020, it is thought that his parents went into more detail about what the little prince's life of future royal service and duty would particularly involve, all to prepare him for his transformation into a possible King George VII.